So 2014 has come to a close, so that means it's time to rank all 30 films I saw in this year, starting with the 20 best movies of my 2014. Okay, so it's time to lay down a bit of criteria so people don't jump all over me about how I rank certain films, because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on here that certain people would not agree with me at all about, but for me it's a best/favorites list that I kind of do a combination of balancing out what I feel are the best made films of the year that I've seen, and the ones that really did something special for me, some things that really just are that much of a favorite to me this year. So it's a lot of real strange criteria that I went through, and this was a very rigorous process putting this list together, because there's a whole bunch of wide array of genres that very much are contrasting and stuff like that, so it was not easy coming up with this list. So I put a lot of hard work rewatching a lot of films, even went back to the theater to see one film after it had been out for several months. So I have put as much effort into this to make it as solid for me as possible, but obviously there's certain things that everyone's going to be able to have a different opinion of something. What someone's favorite of the year is might be someone's worst film of the year. Who knows? And basically it comes down to how good of a film was it? Did it entertain me? Did it engage me? Did it compel me? Did it achieve what it set out to do? And did it do it very well for me? Did it affect me that much to be like, it achieved it that well that it really made it that fucking great to me? So it's a lot of great stuff that I'll have to get rigorously into as we go along on the list, and kind of starts out at number 20 with a film a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people just didn't find it as good as I did, but for a couple laughs, Horrible Bosses 2 did enough for me. I took in like after midnight show to see this just because I needed a couple laughs, and the film did that for me. I didn't think it was measured up as strongly to the original as possible, but I thought Chris Pine was absolutely fantastic in the film. He was just on top of his game. And obviously Jamie Foxx is always fucking awesome, and he still did great as Motherfucker Jones. Everyone else in the film still has the same crisp chemistry they had in the first film, but it doesn't quite measure up so well. So that's why it's right at the number 20 spot. It did enough for me to make the list. It didn't disappoint. That it entertained me enough to make it make the list, you know? And number 19, a little Liam Neeson action with the Non-Stop. And I rewatched this the other night, and it's like, I thought it was a really well done suspense, claustrophobic thriller and everything on this plane where these hijackers are playing this type of extortion game and threatening to kill people every 20 minutes. I just thought, one, Liam Neeson, fucking awesome. The guy's always just fucking great in everything he does. The direction I thought was really good in the film, just added in so much atmosphere and mood and everything. I just thought everything from Jaume Collet-Serra directing the film, he did a really good job, way better than he did with Unknown. And it's a good thriller. I didn't think it was great or anything, but it holds up solidly. It's a nice watch. It achieved what it wanted to do, and I thought it did very well, and surprisingly well, but it's very low-key to a certain extent, and at the end of the day, I thought it was a good film. But number 18 on the list is a film I didn't even intend to see, had no interest in seeing until I heard some reviews about a absolutely incredible performance in 300: Rise of an Empire. Eva Green is the only reason I went to see this film, because I heard review after review after review talking about and praising the living hell out of her performance as Artemisia in this film, and it's like, watched it again the other night, and fuck me, it's still one of the best performances I've seen this year. And you're going to hear me say that for a lot of performances in this list, which is a very good thing. But this ranks really high because Eva Green is she sinks her teeth in this role as deeply as she could possibly do. She is so fucking good in this movie. She's just all bloodlust all over the place, just the sex appeal, the fucking vile fucking shit she's doing in this film is just so fucking good. The action in the film, just the goriest shit I've seen all year, just like blood splattering in fucking gallons and everything. There's a lot of things I liked about the film, but when we got over to the Athenians with Sullivan Stapleton, it just kind of felt, it really just felt kind of flat. But when you watch Eva Green in this film, and even Xerxes too, there's just this fucking compelling, awesome badassery in this film that just, like, is worth seeing once or twice just to behold that. So it's like, that performance alone makes this a fucking movie that I really fucking like. But coming up at number 17 is another sequel, well, sort of a reboot of a franchise, Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. First film I saw this year, and it was fairly surprising. It's like a lot of things that come out in January are not very good films, kind of the dumping ground of the studio system, but I watched it, I went to the theater, I saw it, and I thought it was a pretty good movie. I mean, admittedly, it doesn't measure up to any of the other Jack Ryan films. I would definitely agree that it is probably the weakest film because it goes into a different style of direction and whatnot. It's going much more for an action thriller instead of a lot of political espionage type of thriller drama aspects that really made the bulk of the franchise before this to really have it stand out a lot. But I thought Chris Pine did a good job in the role, but obviously he has come out and kind of voiced some regrets about how the film came out and everything, but certainly doesn't measure up to the rest of the franchise. But for a good action thriller, I think it suits the purpose just well. Kenneth Branagh's direction is nice, it's good, it's solid. I thought the film was a nice watch. I just got it on Blu-ray, so I look forward to watching it again. But number 16 comes The Babadook. Now yes, the film was fucking scary. It was effective as shit. S.E. Davis's performance in the film is just absolutely fantastic. Again, another film I'm going to say has one of the best performances I've seen all year. She is absolutely fantastic and incredible in the film. But I thought the film had a few little shortcomings at the beginning. In the first act, I thought there was a lot of abrupt choppiness in how the narrative was moving forward. Again, I thought the effectiveness, the suspense, everything this film did with the horror elements was so fucking creepy, so damn fucking scary. Just had me heart pumping, had me chills and everything. Babadook does achieve a lot of great things that a horror movie absolutely should do, and we don't get enough of these days, but I'm not really compelled to actually go back and to watch the film again. Just beyond the horror elements, it really didn't have as much to really have me sink my teeth into and really get fucking something that really does something more for me than just the horror. Just like as a horror film to scare you, it absolutely exceeds on that level. I thought the direction is very good aside from a few little places, but it is a very well executed horror film that I thought was very effective and did a lot of right things for the horror genre that a lot of people should definitely take the time to look at the film and take a lot of good things from it. A really damn good horror movie, and it's the only one on this list, so that gives it the high praise for me. And number 15 on the list, which a lot of people, if you watch my review, is going to be a little bit of a strange thing, because at the end of the video, kept this in mind, said it would be in my top 5 of the year, but after all this deliberation, Nightcrawler ends up at number 15. Now, I did make the distinction in my review between the amazing, incredible work that Jake Gyllenhaal does in this role of Lou Bloom against how nothing else in the film really kind of measures up to as good as that performance is. His performance in the film is just fucking amazing. Just like riveting and mesmerizing as living fucking shit. Just complete fucking sociopath in this nocturnal, crazy news journalism, sleazy environment or whatnot. It's fucking perfect performance. It definitely deserves to get these nominations and possibly award wins. I'm so far behind that. But the rest of the film, I thought, again, it's on a solid level, but I don't think anything really was ambitious enough to really push itself to be as incredible as Gyllenhaal's performance does. Nightcrawler is a solidly put together film. I think the film could have been so much more incredible if it just went further, went darker, had more consequence to the film, because it has a great climax, but I felt after the climax it just kind of fizzles out a little bit. So there's a couple little flaws of the film just been nagging me for about 2 months now, and just couldn't quite push myself to push it higher on the list. And you're going to skewer me, because the next film on the list is probably one of the films that has gotten the most fucking flack of the year. But you know what? I really enjoyed number 14, The Amazing SpiderMan 2. And people are fucking shitting on me at the moment as soon as I said that, because people are really fucking digging this film right into the ground. And I understand it. I watched the film again, and I can definitely see the flaws in the film, but again, it's sort of a balancing act between, do the flaws of the film outweigh the things that I really liked about the film, and not really. That I can see the flaws of Amazing Spider-Man 2. I definitely see them. But it's from the fact of, I loved Andrew Garfield's performance as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. This is exactly the type of style of the character that I can connect with entirely. Emma Stone is absolutely wonderful in this film too. I think the chemistry between Garfield and Stone is absolutely fantastic. Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn is just fucking great. Just an incredible actor too. I think the direction generally is really good. Some of the best Spider-Man action sequences we've gotten yet. I just think, despite some of the flaws, that the storyline is a little over-bloated, a few too many things going on, that if it just kind of trimmed some things out, or expanded the film more, put more scenes back in to enjoy it as a fuller, more comfortably paced film or whatnot, I think it would work a lot better. But generally, I just was entertained by the film. It just hit me with the emotional scenes between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. I liked that a lot. I love the action sequences. The ending of the film, I just like a great heroic moment at the end of the film. And one of the things I've tried to do this year is not to be gluttoned with trailers and clips and all this kind of type of stuff where everyone just seems to watch everything that comes out from every single promotional material 10 fucking times, so they memorize every frame of every trailer, every clip, everything. And that's part of the problem. There's a glut of that stuff, and it really kind of sours a lot of people, that you can't go into the film with so much of a fresh feeling, that you get overloaded with stuff. So I was very conservative about that this year. I was like, I'd watch a trailer once, maybe twice if it's screened before a film that I was watching. Other than that, I could go into the film as fresh as I possibly could, so I wouldn't just be picking up on this scene and that scene and this shot, waiting for that to show up from the trailer, or like the last shot of the film showing up in the trailer. I understand, people. I completely understand, but for me, Amazing Spider-Man 2 just did enough for me to be an entertaining film that I enjoyed. Could have been better, but I enjoyed it enough, and that's my long rant about that until I get to number 13, Top 5, from Chris Rock, starring in it, writing it, directing the film, and I thought he did a really well done job with this film. Really much a film that looks at identity of celebrity and everything, just trying to, this character of Chris Rock is slightly autobiographical of Andre Allen here, that this guy who's like stand-up comic who got some big movie hits and everything like that, getting to a point in his career where he just doesn't feel like he's funny anymore, just like he wants to do something different. He wants to be taken seriously for a change. And the whole film is just very nicely well done, sort of pretty much heartfelt, but still able to get funny and raunchy when it needs to be. A tale of this guy who's just trying to grasp exactly who he really wants to be perceived as. And it's a really good film that Chris Rock and Rosario Dawson are fucking amazing chemistry in this film. They're the absolute core of what makes this film so good. Chris Rock does a really good job. I like Chris Rock a lot. I loved his stand-up. I think he's done great work in a lot of different things, but he's had some shit movies lately from what I hear. But it's nice for him to come out and do this sort of passion project or whatnot that really comes out looking very, very good. I thought the film was not quite as funny as I wanted it to be. Some scenes that kind of like seem like they're supposed to be funny, but didn't really get me chuckling too much. But regardless of that, I thought it was a really well done film that really just looks at celebrity from a lot of different viewpoints and aspects and everything, and just like it does all the good things. It's very relevant and topical and everything, and done with a lot of great wit and great chemistry and charisma and everything. Really good film. I really enjoyed it a hell of a lot. And number 12 on the list, another film I just saw recently, would be The Gambler. Now, a lot of people are also saying that it's kind of a middle-of-the-road film for a lot of people, but you know what? Again, it comes down to how consistently good was the film. I thought it was consistently a good film, that it didn't really be ambitious, but really didn't fall off for me. That everything in the film just kind of laid at that good level, and I enjoyed every second of the film, basically. I liked Mark Wahlberg's performance a lot. I thought he did a really good job with the role. Probably not what the role really demanded, but I just enjoyed what he brought to it. Rupert Wyatt's direction was really fucking good. I just liked what he did with the film, just taking a lot of patience and time to let characters develop and the story to be told. John Goodman, fucking great in everything he does, and he's still great in this film. basically, I just enjoyed the film. I thought Gambler was a nice film that really just, as a nice sort of drama with a little bit of a slick, confident type of gambler main character. I thought I did a good job. Certainly doesn't measure up as strongly as the James Caan original, but it's just a film I just like. I have a sort of a affection for at this point. Just like, it did enough for me, and I enjoyed it. So, and at number 11, Filth. This crazy ass raunchy fucking comedy with all this drug addiction riddled fucking insanity and hard hitting fucking depression fucking drama and everything. Fucking whacked out crazy ass Irvine Welsh based movie. Fucking great. James McAvoy puts on one of the best performances I've seen all year, even though the film was released overseas in Scotland and UK in 2013. Didn't go over to America until 2014, so I can, for my own sake, I'm putting it on 2014's list for the best films that were available to see in America. So, fucking amazing ass fucking performance by McAvoy, who's just like so slick, so fucking charismatic, so intensely sharp, with all the fucking comedy, all the fucking drama. Everything is just this fucking whirlwind of fucking raunchy ass insanity and everything. So well directed, so many great cast members just holding up everything that McAvoy is doing. All of them are just as sharp, just as fucking good in this film. Everything is just so fucking perfect as just whacked out fucking comedy with all this raunchy ass fucking drug addiction shit. It just goes right off the deep end and just revels in it and all the sleaze and the dirty fucking shit. This film just goes for it and just lives and thrives in that type of realm, and it just entertained the shit out of me, had me laughing like hell. I love the dramatic beats in this film, just allowing McAvoy to just put on, again, one of the best performances he's probably ever done. But there's another film on the list with him in it that I just have a very good job in too. Number 10 on the list. Getting to number 10 is like, okay, now there's not much question in my mind. When I get to number 10, these are the films that really just do something special for me. Just like, these are the ones that they just click the most for me. And it's going to be really weird what number 10 is. Number 10 is 3 Days to Kill. When I did the review of 3 Days to Kill, it was like, I couldn't make heads or tails out of this fucking quirky, peculiar-ass, totally weird film that goes from family drama to spy espionage action thriller to a fucking comedy of sorts. But I watched the film again. I've watched it like 3 times this year, and it's like, as not good as the film generally is, it's not as cohesive as it possibly could have been, but I enjoy the quirkiness of this film. I like action films, first off, and the quirkiness of this film just like, it entertains me. It's just weird. It's just this weird film that just kind of risen through the ranks strangely. It's just like, it shouldn't be at this place on the list. But you know what? Last year I ranked Pacific Rim above American Hustle, so I feel I'm okay in this thing. 3 Days to Kill, I'm entertained by the film. That it kind of knows what it is. It knows it's kind of a B action movie. It's not doing anything radical. It's not doing anything special. It does what it does, and it does it fairly well. I thought the direction for Mick G was alright. Luc Besson adds his own type of weird European quirkiness to the film. He does a lot of tonally peculiar type of stuff, and this film definitely shows that off very well. But I like Kevin Costner in the film a whole lot. I thought Amber Heard was fucking great in the film, just like a character from a different film or whatnot. Just like, it just is quirky enough and strange enough that it's just entertaining on that level. Just like, once you know what you're getting into, you can kind of enjoy the film on that level. And just like, I can really enjoy it because, one, again, I love action movies. If you give me an action movie that does enough for me, I'm there. I can go with that. I don't have to, I can just enjoy that enough. Number 9 on the list. You're gonna like this one. Godzilla. Now, this was a surprising one for me, the ranking of this one, because a couple days ago I wasn't really all that hot about the film. I was kind of just remembering everything that I saw back in May. Then I was like, I gotta watch the film again. And as I was watching the film, the flaws this film has in that lull in the long fucking second act of the movie are completely overshadowed by the first 40 minutes with Bryan Cranston And that fucking amazing epic climax of the film is like, okay, when I finished watching this film, this thing jumped like 3 spots in the fucking rankings on this list. Godzilla, man. One of those films that I didn't have any interest in seeing at the beginning of the year, but the fucking trailers hooked me because they were fucking suspenseful as hell. Gareth Edwards' direction and visual style was so fucking captivating. The CGI was just fucking amazing. There's enough things in the film that just like the action in the film is so goddamn good. Bryan Cranston's first 40 minutes of the film gets you enough momentum to kind of carry you for long enough, and when you get into that third act, it's so fucking incredible and just so fucking amazing and badass. It just fucking does everything for me. Oh man, it's just like one of those films, again, any kind of flaws it has just become just kind of bury itself under the colossal weight of everything that's fucking magnificent and absolutely fucking awesome in the movie. Surprising, man. Watching it again just like surprises the fuck out of me that I'm just this jacked up about it. But number 8 on the list is the other Liam Neeson movie of the year, A Walk Among the Tombstones. This is a film that I really enjoyed because it was just this gritty, fucking moody, atmospheric detective thriller that just feels like a real kind of throwback to like a 70s type of William Friedkin thriller. It just has that tone, that vibe, that bleak-ass type of thing going on throughout this whole film. These disturbing-ass fucking killers. And this, again, Liam Neeson playing a guy with a drinking problem this year. And just doing really fucking good work in this film. Just like I liked everything the direction went for in this film. Just the story wasn't anything magnificent, nothing really all that different or anything, but it just, the execution, everything, the violence of this film, just like, it was disturbing in certain ways. It was fucking suspenseful as hell. And this is a film that I ended up having to go back and watch again in the theater because I just needed to shore up my opinion of it for this list. I ended up finding it at a second run theater, actually projecting it on film. And any film this year to actually watch projected on scratched up grainy ass fucking 35mm film, this is the film for it in my opinion, because it was a gritty fucking detective thriller with a lot of hard subject matter and just like fucking violent, sick, depraved fucking killers and everything. Hands off to him. I thought the film was just executed on the perfect levels for me, my kind of film all the way through, and I really fucking liked it. But number 7 on the list has, again, one of the finest and most emotionally powerful performances of the year, Locke. Tom Hardy hits it into the stratosphere with this film. Tom Hardy, I know, is becoming a really damn good actor, and I like a film with this type of mood and feel and whatnot. The dark, sort of neo-noir streets and everything. Tom Hardy does best performance I've ever seen from him. One of the best performances I've seen in a long time. This whole film it's a great, ambitious success in terms of execution, the writing, the directing, everything it does, the artistic qualities of it. I loved what Tom Hardy did in this role, that this character of a guy who's realizing that he's made a lot of mistakes in his life and not owned up to everything, and now there's one mistake he did that he's got to go through the process of being there for, to make it right somehow, even at the expense of every other fucking obligation, every other thing that means something to him in his life that he spent years building up, whether it's career, his family, whatever it is. He is going on this long journey to own up to a mistake that he made, and just this emotionally powerful journey that this character of Ivan Locke goes on in this whole film, that it just hits all the moods and tones right, and just captivating so much. I just thought the performance was great. I thought the direction was just magnificent. I just thought everything the film did was really damn good. The ending, it doesn't have quite as much payoff as you want, but based on the quality of the talent involved with this thing and just how much just bursts right through the screen, absolutely, I just like, this film just fucking floored me with that performance. So damn good. And at number 6, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think this film is possibly the most creatively successful Marvel Studios film to date, because I liked how focused it was. I liked how they built up characters, developed them, made it a political espionage thriller, so it took a lot of patience and time to really kind of build things up along the storyline, the characters and everything. I thought the action in the film was really well handled. Slight too much shaky cam in certain places, but it was fucking really well done. I thought the story told was, again, a nice self-contained story. Generally, that a lot of the other Marvel films, some of the problems I've had with them is that a lot of them feel like stepping stones to the next Avengers movie. There's always kind of like they sacrifice the integrity and strength of the story that's being told here in exchange for building up another fucking Infinity Stone or some kind of shit. Captain America Winter Soldier tells its own story that builds itself up, deals with its own consequences, has repercussions for everything else outside of the universe. It just builds up the characters so well. I think that's the strength of the film. I just thought Captain America Winter Soldier just did a lot of the best great things that I really want to see more from a Marvel movie, that they focus on story, they focus on character, try to make things a personal story in certain ways, and keep things as focused on the self-contained narrative itself. And this film achieved it so well. Great direction, great action, great story, just everything just hit it right on the fucking nail. But number 5 on the list, the best pure action movie of the year, John Wick. Again, action movie guy. Action movie guy. I saw this movie twice in the theater within a week or so. I fucking love this goddamn movie. The best shot action sequences of the entire goddamn year. No shaky cam, long takes, great physical stunts, and a great fucking fun revenge film too, man. It's just like, you don't get films this soaked in with style, executed so well, with a fucking great fucking action. Like, Keanu, I love Keanu, man. When Keanu is in his element, he is fucking great. Point Break, your Speeds, your Constantines, your Matrix, whenever he gets into his fucking zone, that's when he excels. And he excels so fucking good in this movie. I loved everything this film did, with the world building it had, with all the various characters and other things going on throughout the whole film that just kind of aided into the film, but also could branch out and work as a franchise too. So many great actors portraying so many just fun, exciting characters too, charismatic characters. Keanu was just great in the movie. He just like fucking great fucking action lead still, just 50 years old, still kicking it, so great. Awesome fucking action. I love the soundtrack too. I've got the soundtrack. I love the fucking soundtrack of this movie so damn much. They're fucking great. I just like having these great, pure, hard R-rated action movies that come out and just like show people exactly how it needs to be done. Don't water it down. Don't strip away the blood. Stop with 10 tons of shaky cam. Focus it. Do nice long takes, physical stunts, charismatic fucking badass storytelling. It was fucking great. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And that's why it's sitting at number 5. The top 5 is the golden fucking chalice or whatnot. You know, just like, that's the fucking thing. That's the gold standard for me. These are the best, absolute fucking love the hell out of these films of the year for me. And that entirely applies to number 4 on the list, Edge of Tomorrow. This was one of the most fresh films I've seen all year. That one, Doug Liman's direction, which I absolutely love, from Go and The Bourne Identity. The guy is still so good at what he does, just making a fun, fresh, exciting action picture of sorts. The guy does such great work, and I love Tom Cruise. Just like with Keanu, I love Tom Cruise. And now I have people have a lot of criticisms about him, but whenever Tom Cruise takes on a role, goes into a movie, he puts everything he has into that role, and I respect the living shit out of it. And he does a really good job in this film. He just has a certain arc in the film that really kind of makes him much more of a deeper, dimensional type of character, and there's a lot of great funny humor in the film that he does. Tom Cruise needs to do more comedies. Absolutely. And Emily Butt is just fucking great in the movie too. Just a solid fucking action lead as well. That she is the stronger, more badass character in the film against Cruise. I think the whole film is just one of the best science fiction films we've gotten in quite a long time, that does a lot of good things to entertain you. There might be a lot of very thought-provoking, artistic type of science fiction films, but you get me something like this, again, an action movie with a lot of sci-fi, ideas and whatnot that have been treaded before, but does it in such a fun, fresh, and humorous type of way too. You got me. And just like the direction was perfect, the acting was perfect, the action was fucking great. I just loved Edge of Tomorrow so much. So much so that I ordered a poster that didn't show up in time for me to do a video, so it would have been sitting here instead of Heat. But regardless of that, I thought the movie was just fucking great. Number 4 on the list, just being Edge of Tomorrow. For the longest time, this was number 2. This is the second film on my list. It had been sitting there for about 6 months. And the fact of the matter is, I saw 2 other films that had absolutely needed to trumpet. But number 3, Whiplash. This film, so much praise to this film, leading up to when I saw it. I was going back and forth on it. It's like, do I really want to see it? Am I really that pumped to see it? After seeing it, I was so goddamn glad. Obviously, because 1 is number 3 on the list. And secondly, it is an amazing fucking movie. First off, yeah, J.K. Simmons' performance is absolutely just fucking blockbuster in this movie. Just, again, the film is just intense. This film is just so human in a certain way. It really hit me on a certain level too, that this film is very much about an artist's drive and ambition and being pushed to being the absolute best you possibly can, and what you need to sacrifice for that. How hard you have to push yourself to achieve what you want as an artist. The direction in this film is just fucking amazing. Miles Teller's performance is also fucking great too. That J.K. Simmons is getting a lot of the fucking intense fucking blockbuster prize, and he is so good. And again, Miles Teller does just such an amazing job in this film as just an average guy who just ends up being pushed further. He pushes himself further, just like he needs it. He needs this validation in his life. He needs to push himself to being that good, and just like it's this fucking momentum that keeps building up and building up throughout the whole film towards this fucking amazing climax. It's just like, it is so goddamn good, this climax of the film. Just like, you wonder what a film like this would have as a dramatic climax, and it is completely based around the music, which the music in the whole film is absolutely fantastic. All this jazz music is just perfect, man. Just fucking great stuff. I was listening to the jazz radio station after I watched the film and was heading out. This film just hits it all on the exact sharp, perfect notes and everything. Just all the right beats. Everything is just so expertly executed. The direction's so good. The writing is so good. Performances between Simmons and Teller, just the chemistry they have, the dynamics they have. This is just amazing fucking dramatic roller coaster that you will go on if you see this film, or it's in the theater, or you can see it on VOD later. You need to see this film. It is incredible experience. When the film just got to the credits, I was just like blown the fuck away by this film. I just like, holy fucking shit, I've just seen one of the best films of the year. I just, fuck. But number 2 on the list, Birdman. Of course it's gonna be Birdman. Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, Galifianakis. Great performances again in this film. More of some of the best performances of the year. Norton and Keaton are just absolutely incredibly charismatic, kind of unplugged type of performances in this film. They're just unhinged in a certain way. Just like once these two are together, just like these are the sparks that are flying throughout the whole film. And another film with the direction is just so absolutely marvelous and just artistically inspired. The whole illusion of the one long steady cam take type of film is just a marvelous type of way to go for this film. Just feels like a big sort of long stream of consciousness for this character of Regan Thompson, who just like, it has certain dreamlike qualities to it and just sort of fantastical feels to it. So just like this really interesting type of lucid dream in a certain way. The film just hits it on all the right beats of the comedy, the drama. Everything just melds together in such a marvelously impressive package. Oh, it was so good. But number 1 on the list, you gotta be wondering what trumps all this passion, what trumps everything. And I've not seen this film top anyone's list at all. But if you saw my review for this film, I think you probably understand completely, because the first thing I did in that review was stare off into the distance and just be like, I am wowed beyond belief by X-Men Days of Future Past. I think it's the best X-Men film that's been made, period. I think, fucking lambast me if you want to, I think it's the best Marvel film at all. I think, for me anyway, I think it's just, it does something extra beyond anything else that's come before, in a certain way that you've seen all the other X-Men films, and they kind of play it in this sort of safe type of box in a certain way. They're not really kind of going beyond what's comfortable for them. X-Men Days of Future Past is ambitious. It pushes things to a widely different level. It's like Terminator 2. It's like the Terminator 2 of this franchise. It's like, it just takes everything that's been there before and just blows it up to a wider fucking canvas beyond anything that you expected. And going up to this film, I didn't even expect it to be that good. Watching the film again, I get so choked up in certain moments where there's these great emotional scenes with these characters that we've been on such a long journey with, through films that were really damn good and some were not so good. But you see like the scenes where McAvoy and Patrick Stewart are there, the Professor X of the past and the future, in this same scene together. Just so much emotion that just chokes me up. Just like, there's certain moments that just like, it wells me up with such emotion and everything. It just hits so well, and the performances are so damn good. McAvoy and Fassbender are just superb in these roles, that if they're the ones that carry this franchise forward, it's in fucking amazing hands, passing it from Stewart and McKellen to these two guys on the same fucking level. Just like, their scenes are so wonderfully perfect and intense, with so much character and just so much depth and everything. Again, Hugh Jackman just being the Rock at this fucking franchise, just delivering it. Just like, after Wolverine just really did something so much well for me last year, this film just pushes it even so much further with the quality of the characters, the story that it's telling that's so character-based and so emotionally based, and again, so ambitious that, yeah, you have certain franchises trying to do a clever reboot of things, trying to do things like the Star Trek Abrams film, which I didn't like that much. I like what they did here to reset things, to try to clear the slate a little bit, try to correct past errors with this franchise, that it did everything in such a very good type of way. So the direction by Bryan Singer just awed me like living hell. I think his direction is so on the fucking money in this film that it just blows away what he did previously in the franchise. I think the writing is spectacular. I think the storytelling is great. The emotion, the drama, the action, the humor. Quicksilver in the film is so fucking entertaining, and everyone thought he was going to be like god awful. He was one of the best things in the film. Involved in one of the most clever and fun action sequences of the whole year, where he's running around and he's fucking around with everyone's shit and everything. Just everything in this film, from beginning to end, captivated me, it enraptured me. It just hit me on every single perfect level. It got, again, all the drama with all the characters perfectly right, righted wrongs with the franchise, made it an entertaining, fun, witty film too. Just all the tones just work so wonderfully together, and just so many great moments. They got all the characters dead on perfect, handled the weight of everything with, you thought there were so many characters in the film that would break under the weight of it. It just handled everything just at the right degrees in every single aspect. I just saw this film and I was just blown the fuck away again. Just like, you got films like Birdman and Whiplash, where just like, these are the films that are going to get the Oscar nominations. But X-Men Days of Future Past, as a guy who loves these kinds of movies, loves the big summer blockbusters, loves all types of movies, this gets everything in one full package for me, and just ends on so many great notes that just never fails at any moment in time with anything that it is doing. Again, great fucking actors doing great fucking performances. Everything is just hit exactly the way it needed to be take me from the point of the extreme speculation I had, and every step away leading up to the release of this film, thinking that it could be a complete fucking mess of a disaster, trying to fix all these continuity errors and everything, coming out of it being completely turned around and blown the fuck away by this movie, it had to stay at #1 for me because it still holds up on multiple viewings. I love this movie. It is the best X-Men movie I've seen so far. They might beat the shit out of me with X-Men Apocalypse. There might be other Marvel movies coming up the next year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that might blow it away. Who knows what the fuck, but this is because it is so ambitious. It is not having constraints on what it is doing. It is going to take on different types of things. It is not going to be afraid to try to do the time travel thing, to try to merge different casts from different eras, trying to do all these things. Like something like Star Trek Generations fuck things up, trying to bring like fucking Next Generation back with Kirk and everything. Fuck that up. You get a movie like this that takes the time to develop a really fucking strong screenplay, knows how to direct it really fucking well, and every single thing with great actors doing everything they need to in this film. It just does a lot of things a lot of other films before this have not done nearly as well, and just like it shows when you do something ambitious with these comic book movies that you're not afraid to break out of the box and do something different. It can be a fucking great goddamn movie, and I loved the hell out of X-Men Days of Future Past. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say, because I'm not going to wear myself out any further, because I still got another video to do of the most disappointing films of the year list, where I don't call it the worst of the year, because I don't go see a lot of films just because they've been released in the theaters. Films that had a certain appeal to me, but the faults of the film outweighed anything that I thought might have been good about it. So that's why I call it the most disappointing of the year, which will be very contentious in certain places, so brace yourselves for that. But in 2015, we've got a lot more fucking movies coming out that are going to be very big films, such as Avengers Age of Ultron, Star Wars The Force Awakens, you got Mad Max Fury Road, you got a whole bunch of things that shit like Terminator Genesis, which could be the antithesis to X-Men Days of Future Past, fucking up the timeline and doing terribly, because that trailer does not instill confidence in me at this point in time. But there's a lot of films that I'm probably not even aware of that will be coming out this year that I will see and possibly love as much as stuff like Birdman and Whiplash and Locke and various other films. So brace yourselves, it's going to be a long year. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of fucking good films, and I would definitely like to hear what you guys felt were your favorite or best films of 2014. Obviously certain people will highly disagree with a lot of things I ranked on here. But regardless of that, like I said, these are the films that actually outweighed any type of faults they did or just absolutely blew me the fuck away. So if I enjoyed them, I enjoyed them. If you didn't, then go ahead and post your own lists. And I'll be back shortly with a few other reviews and a few other videos. So I'm going to get out of here before I fall apart. And hit some like buttons, share links around and all that random shit, and subscribe. And I have set up a page, I've updated the Patreon account, which has been sitting dormant for a long time. So if you want to help support things I'm trying to do around here and try to do more things that I would like to be able to do, go ahead and hit up the Patreon link in the description below and see if you're interested in contributing anything on a monthly basis. If not, just stick around, keep watching, and just hit some like buttons and comments. So take care, guys. Hope 2015 is a fucking great year for film, and I'll see you around soon. Bye bye.